This one is an example of a house that we don't have. There's a lot of houses like this all over the map that we don't get, and it would be nice to have a few more additional house options. I'm not saying we want this one specifically, but there are some great ones out there that we don't have access to. This is Lonely Lodge, and we have a whole bunch of lodges, but we don't have the Lonely Lodge Tower. I would love if we just got the tower. I know we have the Weeping Woods Tower. It's just not quite the same as that old OG one, though. Okay, we were just talking about those houses. This is one I was talking about that I would love to have. This is like the old John Wick house, right? I can't remember, but this is called the Manor. This is a prefab I would love to have. Here's yet another house. This is like called the Northern House. Now, I know we have similar pieces to this in the Wild West Gallery, so I'm not complaining too much about not having that. Now, here's one we definitely need. This is the old soccer stadium that was on the northern part of the island, and there are some amazing pieces on this, and this would just be super helpful to have this kind of a stadium structure in creative mode. We have the Coliseum, but it's not quite the same as like a modern stadium. Shifty Shafts is another one we've never had in creative mode. Now, a lot of the pieces I look around here and see, we've definitely got these, and I think I could recreate Shifty Shaft just from what we've got, including the terrain piece. So that's one I don't think we really need, but we don't have. All right, this is something here. I would love these sky platforms, including the slipstreams, even though I can kind of get close to it with the current pieces we have. Just to have this nice piece there, I think that would be amazing. Snobby Shores, guys, this is an example of all the houses we're missing. Snobby was such a great landing spot for me. I loved it there. And the houses and the mansions, I wish we had each one as an individual prefab and gallery. This is the other stadium that was just to the west of Tilted. This is another one that would have been fun to have, but once again, I feel like we could probably build this with the pieces we've got. Oh, Starry Suburbs. This location was so rarely dropped at, but had some amazing pieces. Like this house right here looks awesome. And then even back here, we don't have a lot of pieces that have this roundish hexagonal shape on it with the round top. These are pieces I think we've been waiting for a long time for. Okay, I think that was basically everything from chapter 1. I'm sure there's some houses and locations that I missed, but that's mostly it from chapter 1. Okay, now let's go into chapter 2. And chapter 2 has a ton of stuff we don't have. All right, so these are all the named locations. And first off, we don't have Lazy Lakes. There's actually quite a few pieces in here, including the houses and even the office buildings that we just don't have. Misty Meadows is another location where I think we actually have most of these pieces in the village galleries, but I'm sure there's something missing here. Even if it's just the different like house shapes, we definitely don't have this stuff. Clearly, we don't have Bony Burbs yet, but we know we're going to be getting that within the next week or two. So I'm grateful we're going to be getting this stuff soon. Now, Colossal Crops is very similar to Bony Burbs, but I really hope we get these really cool ancient looking pieces from the Coliseum. I hope they drop some of that with the Bony Burbs prefabs. This is Caddy Corner. We have a bunch of gas stations, but we don't have this building over here. And I'm sure there's some pieces in there that would be beneficial for all of us. Okay, Holly Hedges, guys. There are some really cool houses in here that I would love to have in creative mode. And I know there's props and different things around in the Holly Hedges area that are unique to that spot. And finally, the Stealthy Stronghold. I love these walls, and particularly the like guard stations or the towers. And while there's probably not a lot in the middle of the stronghold that I want, I definitely want the walls around it. That's all the named locations, but then we have a lot of these like different landmarks that have some really unique stuff in it. I mean, just stuff like the beach bus here, right? We don't have this bus that have the really cool curtains on it and the open top, or Camp Cod here. This was an island. I think I landed here like twice in the whole chapter 2, but check out this warehouse and this house in the back. There's some really cool stuff in this point of interest that I would love to have. Or the drop shop here, this building that was spanning the river. You guys know I love round pieces on the edges, and I really like this stone look. I think this could be a really great prefab. Here's yet another house. This is the Fancy View house. That would be nice to just be able to just plop into a map if you have it. It might be tough because of all of the terrain around it, but once again, let us figure this out. There's even like the radio tower, and of course the waterfalls, guys. We need waterfalls! There's the Holly house here, which in the background, you can see that house has some really pieces on it that we currently don't have in Ooh, the Hydro 16 dam and factory. Some great stuff to just see right here that I would love to have in creative mode, especially that dam. I would love to have the dam with some falling water on it. Even the like lake house with the canoe shop, that nice yellow, I would love to have. I live in a yellow house. I want yellow stuff. This, the orchard area. And while we already have a lot of these pieces, there's some cool things like even the llama sign and just different things like that I think would work really well. Oh, I forgot about these rainbow rentals. These are really cool. This can make a great gallery because it just has all those different colors right next to each other. Red, orange, the yellow. I mean, this is some good stuff here. I mean, I'm even looking at some of these locations. Unremarkable shack here still has some of these colored walls that we don't have. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, we don't need all of these different colors. We need everything, guys. Every variation of things, because you never know, like even here, when you're gonna want this broken down wall. You just don't know. Or the weather station. This weather station has some really cool pieces as well. The brick on this house actually looks kind of unique. I don't know if we have anywhere else. And definitely not the roofs. Oh, guys, here we go. The grotto. This is probably one of the #1 most requested prefabs and galleries is this location. The grotto has so many cool doors and windows and walls. We have got to get the grotto now. We're getting into a lot of these like locations that were only there for a little bit. And then of course, all of the like IO ghost and shadow like locations. There's a ton of these like houses and places that had secret bases in the basement, and we just don't have access to any of these things. And I think they would be really cool to have. Yes, the yacht. Look, they could just drop off the Deadpool balloon at the top and just give us the yacht like this. I would love that. This is the Hey Boo Mega Store. We don't have this. We definitely need this for the next Halloween. Come on. To get into like Doom's domain here. Can't really see his house, but his house was so cool. Oh yeah, the damn word works here. And actually that makes me think of a chapter 3 location. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The Sentinel Graveyard. Oh man, I wish we could have